Hello, goblins. It's Chris, Eldritch Pipes. It's an episode of this week's Pipes. And I actually do have some pipes to show you. Before we get there, first of all, Happy New Year. Hope you had a great Christmas and New Year's. We had a really interesting one. I mentioned at the last video that Wolf was a little unwell. Well, that kind of developed, and some of you may have seen and even commented on some of the posts that we did afterwards. But I thought to be fun for someone to explain it all.
Hello.
Come on in.
Rocket myself into camera.
Get yourself into the frame.
There we go.
Your hair is spectacular.
I know, I've had it up all week because the doctors have been trying to get at my face.
Before it more.
Oh, okay. So, this is the first time I've put it back to how it normally is. So, yeah.
Alright, so some of you might have seen the post where I showed Wolf in hospital with a cannula in his arm, which is what they were both taking blood samples from. And
Well, they took blood samples from it at the start, but then they said, we've put antibiotics through it. We're going to have to stick a needle in your other arm as well.
Let's start
But, yeah.
on the Monday.
The Monday was weird. Well, the whole thing was kind of weird. But
Yeah.
The Monday was peculiar.
So,
What was it? We were rescheduled in to the doctor to see him again that morning because we had blood work done at the doctor's surgery as well, testing for glandular fever.
but you had a bad weekend.
Definitely. Like,
Yeah.
golf ball size swelling on the side of my neck.
On this side.
Yeah.
It's still there a little bit, but it's no longer red.
Yeah.
Anyway.
If I'm on camera now, I wouldn't if it was still... Because the swelling wasn't just around here. It had come up around as well. There's still a bit, but definitely not what it was. And
So we went to the doctor,
yeah.
and he basically said he'd booked us in for the children's clinic.
Well, weirdly, he was very convinced that it was mumps.
Yes, he thought it was mumps, even though it didn't fit some of the... Well, it fit one.
It fit half of one of the symptoms, as I had a singular swelling.
Yeah.
But
it didn't fit any of the other symptoms of mumps.
yeah, and I've had all my vaccinations, so...
But yes, I mentioned mumps on the Friday because it's important to rule that out, because obviously it's quite a contagious and quite a nasty disease.
Yeah, disease.
But anyway, so we went to the hospital.
Well, no, we went to the doctors, but he referred us to the paediatrics
You went
ward.
to the paediatric ward on the hospital. They put you in a room.
Yeah, because the GP had
Still thinking
just
it was
messaged them about it, called them about it.
So
They hadn't actually seen me yet.
So you were in an
They
isolation
set up an
room.
isolated room, which was actually really good for us, because that was my bed, a secondary pull-out bed, and ensuite bathroom with shower. So, you know, silver lining.
But then they did some blood tests, and went... you were seen by a couple of ENT
well, that was
specialists,
later on, because at the time when we got there, we didn't realise we'd be staying there. The doctor said they just wanted to see me do some tests, so we go in, and they bring in a bed, and we're like, do we really need a bed? And they're like, well, we don't know yet, so we're grabbing you one just in case. And me and Mum were joking about it. Imagine having to spend the night. We proceeded to spend 4 nights there.
So, yes, they said, you're not going home.
Yeah, pretty quickly.
And so you were there Monday, Tuesday. We didn't know if you
If I'd be home on Christmas Day, which
Christmas
was...
Day. But fortunately, they gave you what they called home leave.
Yeah, so they let me go home in between the IV antibiotics.
Because then by that time, they were giving you a daily antibiotic, a 3 times a day antibiotic.
And an anti-inflammatory.
And a steroid.
And a steroid, yeah. 4 different things a day.
Were all being injected through the cannula.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, we did actually get you home for a bit on Christmas Day.
Yeah, so...
But then we had to go back for quite a
halfway
few hours.
through. Yeah, what? We got there at 1:30, didn't get home till 5?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
And then the same again
Same again the day after.
on New Year's Day. Boxing Day.
Yeah.
And then you finally came home.
Then we got home on the Friday?
Yeah.
Yeah, home on the Friday.
With a week's supply of 2 different antibiotics.
Yeah, so...
Which you've just finished now.
Yeah, just finished, which is good because one of them tasted horrendous, but Dad knows all about that, and I've been going on about it all week.
So, let's just say... So, what was your most intriguing Christmas present?
Well, it's probably...
Oh no, Mum's least favourite. I should have said Mum's least favourite.
Well, I mean,
same thing, isn't it?
Kind of, because that's the one I've been asking for
Go on.
13 odd years. And I have been asking for this for practically since I was born and knew what words were.
Basically, yeah, from as soon as you could speak.
Yeah, the first words, this is what I wanted.
Grappling.
It's a grappling hook.
Grappling hook. Still
Never
don't
had a
know why.
clue what I'd do with a grappling hook, but I always knew I wanted one. It's just one of those weird things. Might have been watching Gravity Falls growing up and watching Mabel
Yeah.
Pines with her.
Fortunately, you haven't
Grappling
tried to turn out your light with a grappling hook just yet.
Yeah. Haven't tried. I mean, I've grabbed a few things towards me, but I haven't put like a chunk out of the wall or broken a window yet, and we will aim to keep it that way. But, you know, throwing a big metal hook, something's probably going to break at some point.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And we wanted to give a shout out, didn't we?
Yeah.
We want to give a shout out to Travis, who got the whole family.
The Doctor Who Magic the Gathering decks.
Which put a smile on your face, didn't it?
Definitely. Because as soon as the decks came out, they were off the shelves. They were just gone.
They were
Out of stock practically everywhere. And if you could find them anywhere, it was for 3 times market price. So, we never actually managed to get our hands on them.
True.
So imagine our surprise when we open this box, thank you again Travis, and find all 4 of them.
All 4 of them, yeah. So we all claimed one, didn't we?
Yeah, you're running
Blast from the Past.
Blast from the Past, I'm running Masters of Evil. We've got a deciding match to play. He won 1, I've won 1 so far.
And we all played, so while you were in hospital...
While I was in hospital, the rest of the family played
Charlotte
the other
and
decks.
Jack. Jack played... Charlotte played Tiny Wimey.
So, Paradox Power?
Paradox Power.
Paradox Power.
Jack played Paradox Power.
Yeah. He got the deck no one else wanted to play, but...
And I got Blast from the Past, and I won with that one.
Yeah, I mean, what your hot deck's premise is get out all of the doctors ever with the game.
I've got 8 doctors in my deck.
Don't you have a win card that's like, if you get 12 or more doctors, you win?
Yes.
Yeah. Luckily, we haven't got to that point yet. But, yeah.
Yeah, so that was really cool.
Yeah.
Alright, get out of here.
I'm being kicked out so he can show you pipes and tobacco and things. So, I'll get out of your hand.
Actually, yeah. If you take the grappling hook...
I will happily
I'm just
take
gonna
back the
close-
grappling hook.
I'm just going to close the door.
Yeah. If you hear a crash in the background, it wasn't me.
That was cool. Nice. See you in a moment. So that was the boy who's in good shape now. Right. Right. So, back to our regularly scheduled programming. I'm smoking some Dunbar. There are some days when I'm not sure if I prefer Dunbar or Tilbury. I mean, most days I know it's Tilbury. But when I haven't smoked Dunbar in a while, and I've been filling my boots with Tilbury, so to speak, Dunbar is a really delicious alternative. It's it's in the same wheelhouse. It's a bit more spicy than Tilbury. Tilbury is buttery smooth. Dunbar has got a little more, got a little more salt and pepper to it. It's like a well-seasoned Tilbury. All right. So, I made 3 pints this week, none of which were commissions. I thought they were all going to last to this video, but none of them did. I posted these all on Instagram just a couple of hours ago, relative to this video going out, and they're all gone. But since I'm back in production, there'll be more next week. So let's have a look. One of them is a bit of an oddity. It's not an oddity as a pipe, but for me it's an oddity. In that I've never made anything quite like it before. But let's go through them. Let's start off with something usual. I'm just going to move my light here. Look at that beauty. I do love it when a sandblast comes together. When you get loads of detail in the ring grain and in the straight grain, it's a wonderful thing. Touch of plateau in the rim. This is the dark. This is the cordovan finish that I thought quite often I do go black with a red stem, but I didn't want to go that way this time. And the sort of the dark chocolate is a very popular colour. This is the Crimson Cumberland. An intriguing piece with the black stripe going down the middle this time and the red on the side. It is the way these things go. If I'd have had it the other way, oriented the other way around, then the front would be all swirled. Yeah. So an acorn. Second of all, a Viking horn. Slightly different to the way that I usually render. I'll explain the difference. So, normally, I do a rim. What's the best way to indicate? Parallel to the stem. But, well, two reasons. One, practical. Just the block wanted to go this way. And I thought, you know what, it's been a while since I've done a forward canting. Not super forward canting, but a little forward cant. And there is something to be said about the swoop. About the swoop that you get from that. Black sandblast, gorgeous straight grain, flowing with the horn shape. That's kind of like the whole deal. And paired with the flame mosaic stem. Isn't that cool? I'm using the flame mosaic on everything. I'm going to be running out shortly to make some more. But yes, so a slightly altered Viking horn. Because we've been pandering the boy since he got home, we've been mostly watching manga. We've watched Solo Leveler, which actually I really enjoyed. There's only one season on Netflix, but we watched the heck out of that. There's one called Misfit Demon King Academy, something like that. I don't like it, Steph likes it. And we've been watching My Hero Academia. And actually I quite like that one. We're into season 2 of that one at the moment. This sounds like it needs you need am I going to say then? Let's do that. Very good. Finally, so those two are my normal shapes. You've seen those a lot of times. You'll probably be familiar that every now and then I like to do just a freehand shape. Just get a block, draw a shape on it, see how it turns out. Which is what I did with this one. Isn't that intriguing? In the end, I wasn't sure what to call it until, because in some ways, if you just looked at the top half, it's kind of like a pot. Kind of like a pot, sort of. But obviously it does this kind of thing here. Like a parabola. So that I called it a parabolic bent pot. I mean, it's not a sitter, although it doesn't fall down exactly. On a flat surface, it kind of like does that. Which is like, I'm not sure it's technically a sitting, but it does stay upright-ish due to the not flat, but flat-ish bottom. The ring grain is just going nuts on this fellow. That detail's really cool. The ring grain. And some really groovy. Some groovy plateau. So yeah. Done in the chocolate sandblast. I felt that right from the beginning. I knew I was going to put an orange stem on it, so the warm chocolate just really works. Orange Cumberland, going mental. And I went with a saddle stem because I knew this shape was going to be chunky. So the saddle stem just to sort of take some of the weight out of it. So it gets a kind of a leaner back end. A taper stem, I think, would have just been too bulky. So there you go. I really feel I should make another one of these. I will make another one of these. Parabolic bent pot. Yeah. And those are my pipes for this week. All right, that's it. I hope none of your Christmases and New Year's were quite as adventurous as mine. And that you had a slightly more relaxed and less stressful affair. Because having a child in hospital is not a good thing. But anyway, we made it through and everything is good now. So grand. All right. Should be back next week. Yeah, can't see any reason why not. With some more stuff. So, till next time, take it very easy. Your loyal pipe maker.